Good morning to you. It's 4 a.m. on this Tuesday, January the 3rd, and here are today's top headlines. NFL star Damar Hamlin hospitalized after collapsing on the field during the Buffalo Bills-Cincinnati Bengals game. The latest on his condition and the outpouring of support this morning.
A deadly RV fire in explosion now being investigated as a homicide. We'll have the details.
Deadly storm slammed California, causing widespread flooding and multiple rescues. More rain on the way. In fact, happening right now, when the next powerful storm is expected to arrive. Early edition of the KTLA 5 Morning News starts right now. Well, good morning to you and Happy New Year. I'm Chris Shaw.
I'm Megan Henderson. We appreciate you being with us. Kirk in for Ginger today. We'll check your roads coming up shortly. It's wet out there. First, let's talk about the weather.
Yeah, more rain. Very unsettled this week. Here we go again. Snow-capped mountains. Looks beautiful, but driving conditions a little tough. So happy Tuesday. I almost said Monday, but we know
it feels like a Monday.
Right, but it's a Tuesday.
It's that whole Rose Parade.
Good morning. Thanks so much for joining us on a Tuesday. I'm Megan Henderson.
And I'm Chris Schaubel. Good morning to you. Hopefully you're staying safe as we begin another wet day outside. It's not a Monday, even though it is the first day of the week for a lot of people.
Right.
It's Tuesday morning, Henry DeCarlo.
On this Tuesday, a little wet out there this morning. We will get some breaks this afternoon. We'll get a little break, but tomorrow morning the rain will start to pick up. Thursday, heavy rain. I mean, we have a lot of rain not only this week, even though we'll have some days where we'll get some significant breaks. If I look out the next 10 days, we've got a number of storms brewing. Yeah. So we could use it. Obviously, there's concern for burn areas. So it's one of those things we're cautiously optimistic because we want the rain, we want the snow, but we don't want the problems that often come with it.
Happening right now, heavy snowfall is creating dangerous driving conditions in our local mountains. We're live with the latest.
Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin remains in critical condition after collapsing on the field during last night's Monday Night Football game. We'll have the latest coming up.
The rain impacting your morning commute. I'm Kirk Hawkins live in the traffic center filling in for Ginger Chan this morning. If your commute includes Riverside, what you need to know before you head out the door coming up.
And thousands paying their respects to Pope Benedict XVI as he lies in state. Details on funeral plans this week. KTLA 5 Morning News at 5 a.m. starts right now.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Now, we're talking about some rain and some snow out there. A lot of rain falling overnight. So if you are traveling for an extended period of time this morning, you will run into some wet roads, maybe even some rain. We still have some showers out there, especially up towards the mountains and the foothills.
Good morning. Thanks so much for joining us on a Tuesday. Happy New Year. I'm Megan Henderson.
And I'm Chris Schaubel. Good morning to you. Nice to be together again.
Yeah.
You know, it's been a
We're
while.
back. Yeah.
That thing called the Rose Parade, Christmas, all of that has
All of that. New Year.
come and gone.
That's back to
Are you going to say the grind? I was going to say, don't say the grind.
Back to reality. Yeah, we hope everybody had a wonderful holiday. Christmas and New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and all that. And now we turn the page to a new year, and hopefully some good rain and snow. How about that? I think we can all agree on that. We all need a little rain and snow. We're going to get a lot of it, Megan. I know you've been really worried. Megan typically will say, but what about me?
It's true.
Will I get rain?
Exactly.
Yes, Megan, you will get rain this
good to
time.
know.
Well, good morning to you on this first Tuesday of 2023. You're watching the KTLA 5 Morning News. I'm Chris Schaubel.
I'm Megan Henderson. Glad you are with us. We're going to check your roads with Kirk, who's in for Ginger today. Coming up shortly. It's wet out there. Let's go over to Henry.
Yeah, we're finding definitely some wet roads out there, especially as we head up against the mountains and the foothills. Now, earlier this morning when we started at 4 a.m., there was a lot of rain throughout Southern California. We're getting lots of breaks now in through Ventura, Santa Barbara counties, and through parts of LA County. Most of the energy has now slid down to the south and through South Orange County and in through Riverside County, San Bernardino County as well. So there's still some rain out there. It's still coming down at a pretty good clip up against the mountains and the foothills out towards Banning, Beaumont, and then stretching back towards Rancho Cucamonga. But overall, we will see a drier trend through the afternoon and even some sun breaks. Most of the rain that falling now in through the morning hours. Then we get a break. We'll get more rain developing tomorrow and then the big day on Thursday. So get ready. We have a couple of days with some heavy rain. Could see some dangerous rain with some of those rainfall totals for some areas over the next couple of days, upwards of 5-6 inches of rain, Kirk Hawkins. So we'll be talking a lot about the rain and snow over the next couple of days. Over to you for now.
Looking forward to that. Breaks as well. It feels like the Pacific Northwest. So we're certainly seeing the impact of the weather on your morning commute this morning. A number of rollovers and even spin out crashes as well. Let's begin with the latest now on a SIG alert that we've been tracking in the San Fernando Valley. This is the 405 South at the 101 connector in Sherman Oaks. This is a two-car spin out crash. It's been a problem for the last hour or so. We're holding the HOV and number 1 lanes for at least another half hour until about 6:30 this morning. All right, now to a Caltrans camera, a live look outside at how your commute is coming together. This is in the San Bernardino area. We were going to show you the 15. There we go. The 15 at Oak Hill Road. As you can see, a slow going for drivers there this morning. That's the latest on your morning commute at 6:01. Megan, now back to you.
Kirk, thank you. Buffalo defensive back Damar Hamlin is in critical condition this morning after the Bills say his heart stopped beating following a tackle against the Bengals.
The scary scene unfolded live on Monday Night Football. Eric Spillman live in our newsroom with the latest details. Eric, good morning.
Morning, Chris.
Good morning, 627. Here's a live look outside, and we're talking about temperatures today. Long Beach camera, by the way. We're talking about temperatures that will be about 5 degrees below the average. Not an overly chilly day, especially when we're talking about rain and snow, but the snow levels remaining very high for us today. And that live look at our Doppler right now, you can see a lot of instability still yet to work through. It's all on the lighter side, but we are finding some heavier rain up against the foothills.
Welcome to the KTLA 5 Morning News at 7 on this Tuesday, January 3rd. Good morning, I'm Jessica Holmes. Happening now, an NFL player remains in critical condition this morning after suffering cardiac arrest in the middle of the Bills-Bengals game last night. We're going to have the latest as players across the league ask for prayers. Drivers left stranded in our local mountains as more snow falls overnight. What you need to know if you're planning to visit Big Bear. And did you happen to catch the Rose Parade yesterday? This morning, you have one more chance to see the exquisite floats in person. We'll tell you how. And scrambling for last-minute votes as lawmakers prepare to elect a new Speaker of the House. We'll talk about that this morning. First, I want to get a check of your traffic. Kirk Hawkins in for Ginger Chan. Good morning, Kirk.
Jessica, good morning to you. A number of spin-out crashes across the Southland this morning. We now have a new SIG alert.
And now, traffic by Spectrum Mobile.
Welcome back to the KTLA Morning News on this Tuesday morning. I'm Kirk Hawkins live in the traffic center filling in for Ginger Chan. A busy morning here as the weather conditions are really impacting your morning commute. We still are tracking the latest in that SIG alert in Orange County, specifically in Anaheim, the 91 West at Kramer Boulevard. Right now the number 3 lane is blocked. They're hoping to clear it around 7:45 after waiting for a tow truck. Essentially there's a car. They need to get out of an embankment here. For drivers in Ventura County, let's give you a live look at how your commute is coming together. We were seeing all green on the map earlier, but now it looks like there are some trouble spots there on the 118. Still, the connector between the...
Good morning, I'm Frank Buckley. Congress back in session today with lawmakers set to vote on a new Speaker of the House this morning. Does California's Kevin McCarthy have the votes? We're live from Washington.
I'm Eric Spillman. Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin remains in critical condition this morning after collapsing during last night's Monday Night Football game. The latest on what may have happened coming up.
I'm Annie Rose Ramos. It's a new year, and that means new snowfall. We're coming up. We're in live from Big Bear Lake with a fresh look at that fresh snowfall of 2023.
Good morning, I'm Jessica Holmes. Tonight marks the first Mega Millions drawing of the year, and it's a big one. Jackpot now stands at $785 million.
Oh, as the KTLA pool started, good morning, I'm Sam Rubin. New here in 8 o'clock and in 2023, new year, new bond. Another name has been thrown into the mix, and a name we know, the broadcaster Mark Thompson, trying something new, a migration from radio to YouTube? Will it work? He'll join us live to talk about it.
Good morning. Time right now is 8 o'clock or a minute after 8 o'clock, and you can see some more rain now coming down in Long Beach, and that's what today is going to be. Nothing too dramatic, but on and off you'll get some of those showers. Bands. We're between two systems, the system that hit us over the weekend. Good morning, everybody. 8:30, and here we go on a Tuesday. We're done with New Year's, Christmas, and it's all. What's coming up next? May?
Valentine's
Oh,
Day.
Valentine's Day.
Your favorite.
Yeah, Valentine's Day.
You romantic, you.
Yeah. Some rain still lingering from one system in between the two systems, and then after that we're going to get a bigger storm moving in on Wednesday, late Wednesday, heading into Thursday.
Now on the KTLA Morning News at 9, a Buffalo Bills football player remains in critical condition after he collapsed from cardiac arrest during Monday Night Football. The latest on Damar Hamlin just ahead.
At any moment now, the opening session of the 118th Congress set to begin. Republicans are now in control. One of the first orders of business, elect a new Speaker of the House. Will Kevin McCarthy get the votes? We'll explain.
And scientists fear that a new offshoot of the Omicron strain could fuel a surge of coronavirus cases here in the U.S. What you need to know about that just ahead.
All right, good morning, and still socked in at Long Beach, possibly some light showers. You can see the streets are wet. But the system is completely breaking down, the one that we had passed through the weekend. It is moving out of the area. Yet wait, there's another system directly behind it. That's going to move in for later tomorrow, and the rain will start tomorrow afternoon in through tomorrow evening and all the way through Thursday. Coastal today, 60, 61 downtown, San Fernando Valley up to 60 degrees, 58 in the high desert, 56 inland Empire, Orange County inland, 60 degrees. That's it. Frank, back to you.
Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin hospitalized in critical condition this morning at a Cincinnati hospital after suffering cardiac arrest during a game against the Bengals. Fans from both teams have gathered outside of that hospital, some forming prayer circles, holding hands and candles in a show of support for the Bills' safety. KTLA's Eric Spillman live in our newsroom with the very latest. Eric, good morning.
Morning, Frank. We're getting a tiny bit of new information about Damar Hamlin's condition at the hospital. We know he's...
What a ride it's been this morning, 29 minutes after 9 o'clock. Hey, good morning, everybody. And it's going to be even a bigger ride tomorrow afternoon. This is a shot from downtown. It's coming down pretty good right now, and very light drizzle, but nevertheless, it's very steady. So Oxnard, Thousand Oaks getting in another wave, downtown Los Angeles, as we just saw right there, Santa Ana, all the way up and down the coast, Long Beach getting some of that rain. And then we put this into motion. This is tomorrow. Overnight tonight, I should say, tomorrow morning, 4:50 in the morning. The rain could be coming in as early as that, and winds will be picking up from the south. And then we continue with the rain all the way. This is Thursday now, Wednesday night into Thursday, and this is where we could even see.
Good morning, I'm Eric Spillman. The family of Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin has just released a statement. We're going to have that for you. Plus, what heart experts think might have caused him to collapse during last night's game. I'll have a live report.
Good morning, I'm Frank Buckley. The new session of Congress is underway this morning, and the voting is underway right now for House leadership, including for Speaker of the House. Republican leader Kevin McCarthy wants that job. At last count, he did not have the votes from within his own party. We will have the latest from Washington just ahead.
Good morning, I'm Jessica Holmes. Tonight, you have a shot at becoming America's next millionaire, the massive Mega Millions jackpot that's now up for grabs.
And good morning, I'm Lena Bobian. We are live here in Pasadena. This is Float Fest. The parade might be over, but you can still see the floats in person. How long this will be happening, we'll give you all the details coming up next.
Good morning, I'm Sam Rubin, new here at 10 o'clock. Speaking of that Rose Parade, how many people watched it and where did they watch it? We have the answers to those questions. And if you're a fan of Southern Charm, many are. One of the ladies from the series on the way here live.
Of magnificence. Oh, boy. Hey, good morning, everyone. It's still raining outside on and off, and today's going to be sort of a transitional day, but by tomorrow, later in the afternoon, we can expect to have some heavier rain moving into the area, and that'll be all the way through Thursday.
Now at 11, a Buffalo Bills football player remains in critical condition after he collapsed from cardiac arrest during a Monday Night Football game. The latest on Damar Hamlin coming up.
Heavy rain in Northern California left cars trapped on flooded roadways. That storm now moving through Southern California. Casey Montoya is here with the forecast. Hi, Casey.
Hi. Well, today we are likely to see some more scattered showers, but the really heavy rain, that's on the way Wednesday and Thursday. We'll talk more about that coming up.
And it's your last chance to get up close to this year's Rose Parade floats. Details on the 2-mile-long showcase. Good morning and welcome to the KTLA 5 Morning News at 11 a.m. I'm Glenn Walker.
And I'm Lou Parker. Thanks for joining us. The role of U.S. House Speaker remains in limbo. California Representative Kevin McCarthy's bid falls short. He did not receive enough votes in the first ballot.
The vote is now poised to go to a second ballot for the first time in 100 years. KTLA 5's Trevor Shirley live now in Washington, D.C. He is following the developments. Trevor.
It is a wet start to 2023 as snow and rain hit parts of Southern California, and another big storm is headed our way. Residents in foothill communities are being told to prepare for potential mudslide dangers as the hillsides are already saturated.
KTLA 5's Gene Kang joining us live now from Duarte with how they are bracing for the wet weather. Gene?
Hi, Glenn. Hi, Lou. I think we can safely still say Happy New Year, but it is going to be very wet with that big storm expected.
Now at noon, fans gathering for a vigil outside the hospital in Cincinnati in support of Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin. Thanks for joining us for the KTLA 5 News at Noon. I'm Glenn Walker.
And I'm Lou Parker. Damar Hamlin was hospitalized after suffering cardiac arrest during last night's game against the Bengals.
The game was stopped and later postponed. KTLA 5's Aaron Myers live in our newsroom with the latest on the incident. Aaron?
It is definitely a wet start to 2023 as snow and rain hit parts of Southern California, and another big storm is headed this way. Residents in foothill communities are being told to prepare for potential mudslide dangers as the hillsides are already saturated.
KTLA 5's Gene Kang joining us live now from Duarte with how they are bracing for the wet weather. Gene? Now in one, a new Congress convened for the first time today in a new era of divided government as Republicans take back control of the House. Good afternoon. This is the KTLA 5 News at 1. I'm Glenn Walker.
And I'm Lou Parker.
The new House majority has not yet been able to lock down its next speaker.
After 2 rounds of voting, Representative Kevin McCarthy has come up short. Correspondent Jesse Tenor joining us from Washington with more on this developing story. Hi, Jesse. And now at 1:30, snow is creating dangerous road conditions and major traffic jams in our local mountains. Dozens of vehicles were stuck along the portion of Highway 18 near Boulder Bay. Many drivers stopping in the middle of the icy road to put on chains. Only the largest 4-wheel drive trucks were able to make it through without any issues, but then had to maneuver through all of the other cars. Many of those vehicles remained trapped overnight.
On a positive note, the new year is bringing fresh snow to the San Bernardino Mountains.
KTLA 5's Annie Rose Ramos has the story from Big Bear Lake.
Happy New Year. Did you learn that wave during your Rose Parade covering yesterday?
You know.
Chris
elbow,
on the corner.
Elbow,
wrist,
yeah.
wrist. Chris on the corner.
Blow a kiss. Yeah,
wow.
all
Touch
of it.
the pearls and blow it.
That too.
Exactly.
But no, it's nice to be together again.
Yes,
you know,
it
just
is.
Relaxing, chilling.
And you were great out at the Rose
Oh,
Parade.
it's very nice of you to say. I had a blast. TV Corner is high energy, and I love the crowd.
Love it. Love it.
You're
love
okay.
They're okay.
No,
They're okay.
you were okay.
Oh.
Actually, that's not true. I watched it. I think I told you that, and I think you did a fantastic job. But it doesn't surprise me.
No,
I mean, that's
he's a
right up
pro.
your wheelhouse. So yeah, you're a pro at that.
Very
but you
kind.
She did great. The entire coverage. Beautiful day.
Now at 3, the role of House Speaker remains undecided as California Representative Kevin McCarthy does not secure enough votes in 3 rounds of ballots. We're following the latest developments from Washington, D.C.
Buffalo Bills player Damar Hamlin remains in critical condition after he collapsed on the field during last night's Monday night football game. We're following the developments.
And as one storm leaves, another is on the way. Residents across Southern California bracing for another winter rainstorm that is expected to drench the region. Good afternoon, I'm Glenn Walker.
And I'm Lou Parker. We begin with the historic battle for House Speaker today. Not going so well for Republican Representative Kevin McCarthy.
After 3 votes, McCarthy has come up short as 19 members of his own party are not on board. Correspondent Jesse Tenor has the latest on this developing story.
Now at 5, torrential rain and strong winds pummel Southern California overnight, flooding roads and triggering fears of damaging mudslides. Good evening. You're watching the KTLA 5 News at 5. I'm Cher Calvin.
And I'm Pedro Rivera. Thank you for joining us. The storm has loosened its grip on the Southland, but many are still feeling its impact.
Downpours turned roads into muddy rivers and intersections into lakes. Luckily, it appears that Southern California escaped without any major damage, but are we out of the woods just yet?
We have live team coverage of the rain, the aftermath, and what's to come. So let's begin with meteorologist Vera Jimenez with a look at where the storm is now.
Well, as you can see, it's definitely moving through Southern California. We are looking at
Today's fast-moving storm brought rain and wind to the Southland, but unlike up north, we were spared any major damage. Good evening. This is the KTLA 5 News at 5:30. I'm Cher Calvin.
And I'm Pedro Rivera. The storm turned deadly to our north after a tree fell through a roof in a home in Sonoma County.
We have live team coverage tonight on the impact of this winter storm from northern to Southern California. And we begin with KTLA's Vera Jimenez with an update on where the storm is right now. V.
Thank you. Well, it's still filtering its way through Southern California. Keep in mind that
you'll see it swimming around the zoo. That does it for the KTLA 5 News at 5. The news at 6 starts right now.
Now at 6, a winter storm batters Southern California, leaving behind flooded roads and fears of mudslides.
And the stalemate on Capitol Hill continues as California Representative Kevin McCarthy loses an 11th vote for House Speaker.
And doctors say Damar Hamlin is showing signs of improvement since suffering cardiac arrest during a Monday night football game. The latest on his condition now on the news at 6. Good evening. I'm Cher Calvin.
And I'm Pedro Rivera. In tonight for Micah Ullman. The storm moved through Southern California earlier and faster than expected, but its effects still being felt around the region.
Downpours, flooded roads, and turned others into muddy rivers as the menacing storm slammed the region. Let's check in with meteorologist Vera Jimenez with a look at where the storm is now. V.
Well, it's clearing out and continues to diminish as we make our way into the evening. And
now at 6:30, strong winds and torrential downpours batter the Inland Empire. The latest on the conditions there and the risks people are still facing tonight. And recent storms have dropped much needed water around California. But will that have any effect on the ongoing drought in the state? And police say they have made an arrest in a deadly hit and run that left a community activist dead in South LA on Christmas Eve. The KTLA News at 6:30 starts right now. Good evening. I'm Cher Calvin. Micah Ullman has the night off. Now at 6:30, the winter storm that lashed Southern California with heavy rain and high winds, flooded roads, and left some without power. In the foothills of the Inland Empire, mud flows were added to the mix. KTLA's Shelby Nelson has more on the storm's impact from Oak Glen.
From hot spots and hidden gems to lots of local flavor, it's your guide to LA the wellness way from the Valley's new healthy oasis. Looking for one place to get all your wellness on right here in SoCal? Well, we found it. Hello, everyone, and welcome to LA Unscripted. I'm Dana Devin, and today we are coming to you from the gorgeous shops at Sportsman's Lodge, the hot new spot to have an entire day of healthy living. Sportsman's Lodge has a
Now at 10, an outpouring of support for Bills player Damar Hamlin, who remains in critical condition after cardiac arrest. His family speaking out.
Plus, a Tesla plunges 250 feet off a cliff. The man behind the wheel, a doctor from Pasadena, now under arrest for attempted murder. His wife and 2 children were inside.
And more heavy rain, strong winds, and the threat of mudslides are on the way to Southern California when the latest atmospheric river is expected to arrive. Now on the news at 10. Good evening, I'm Cher Calvin.
And I'm Pedro Rivera in for Micah Ullman. NFL fans across the country are showing their support tonight for Buffalo Bills player Damar Hamlin, who remains in critical condition 1 day after he collapsed on the field during Monday Night Football.
Tonight, Hamlin's family is expressing gratitude and asking that fans keep their 24-year-old in their prayers as he struggles to recover. Hamlin was rushed to the hospital after suffering cardiac arrest during last night's game against the Bengals. The game was stopped and later postponed.
KTLA's Mary Beth McDade is following the latest on Hamlin's condition. She joins us now with what we're learning tonight.
Well, Pedro and Cher, Hamlin's uncle, says that his nephew is not breathing on his own and suffered damage to his lungs. He also says that Hamlin had to be resuscitated twice, once on the field and then again when he got to the hospital. And that's where football fans continue to gather and pray for Hamlin and his family.
Now, KTLA 5 Sports Final with Darren Horton, powered by your Southern California Ford dealers.
So the final chapter of this Trevor Bauer debacle, as written this afternoon by the Dodgers, severing ties with the controversial pitcher, officially designating him for assignment. That gives them 7 days to either trade him.
Now at 11, a show of support tonight for Damar Hamlin, who remains in critical condition after suffering cardiac arrest during last night's NFL game. Good evening. I'm Cher Calvin.
And I'm Pedro Rivera in for Micah Ullman. Fans across the nation are holding vigil tonight for the 24-year-old who is showing signs of improvement.
Hamlin's family says they are grateful for the support and say Damar is fighting to recover. Hamlin was rushed to the hospital after suffering cardiac arrest during last night's game against the Bengals. The game was stopped and later postponed.
KTLA's Mary Beth McDade is following the latest on Hamlin's condition. She joins us now with the latest.
Pedro and Cher, Hamlin's uncle, says that his nephew is not breathing on his own and suffered damage to his lungs. He also says that Hamlin had to be resuscitated twice, once on the field and then again when he got to the hospital. And that's where football fans continue to gather and pray for Hamlin and his family.
Welcome back to California Cooking. We've got a great show lined up for you guys today, starting with a former professional basketball player who left his home country of France to open up a bakery here in Burbank. My visit to this French bakery got me thinking about a bistro-style menu. So I'm going to make a roasted chicken with some crispy potatoes. Plus, how about a wedge salad with homemade blue cheese dressing? And then our kitchen is finally complete. Theo and I are going to give you a quick tour. Earlier this summer, Lou the French on the Block in Burbank was named the top spot to eat in LA and the Valley by Yelp. I got to visit this neighborhood bakery in Burbank and learn all about the owner's incredible story of success. Take a look.
Now on Inside California Politics, lawmakers return to work in Sacramento, the beginning of what is expected to be an eventful session at the state capitol.
It's an exciting time, but there's a lot of work going on here in the Capitol.
We want to bring about real reforms that are going to help make life better for Californians across the state.
Assembly Speaker Anthony Rendon and Assembly Republican leader James Gallagher both explain their priorities. Plus, Gavin Newsom is sworn in for his second term as governor.
The duties upon which I am about to enter.
The duties upon which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
we go inside the bullpen to analyze the job ahead for the governor in what could be a challenging year in the Golden State.
Broadcasting across the Golden State, this is Inside California Politics.
Thanks for joining us for Inside California Politics. I'm Nikki Lorenzo in Sacramento. Frank Buckley is off this week. California lawmakers are back to work in Sacramento as the legislative session resumed this week. This session comes as Governor Newsom is expected to reveal his budget proposal in the next few days, a proposal that is expected to address a possible deficit exceeding $25 billion projected by the Legislative Analyst's Office. I spoke to both leaders of the parties in the State Assembly. We're going to start with California Assembly Speaker Anthony Rendon, who joins us now on Inside California Politics. Mr. Speaker, it is back to work at the Capitol.
A time-traveling detective, a mysterious piece of videotape, an author from the moon, and a rip in space-time that unites them all. That's just a taste of the delicious new novel, Sea of Tranquility. It's a novel that examines the nature of our reality, our search for identity and meaning, and our obligations to each other, those we love the most and those we barely know at all. It happens to come from the mind of the author responsible for the novel Station 11, the post-apocalyptic story about a pandemic and its aftermath that came out in 2014. In other words, pre-COVID pandemic.